Hello there, my crypto bit brothers and sisters, and all you veterans, happy Veterans Day. And be sure to give us a thumbs up because we love you. Hey, Papa Ron, look who's over here. It's Papa Ron.
And we
What's
are
happening?
Well, just happy to be here with you.
Thank you. Same here.
I wanted to chime in with you that we are very appreciative and thankful for our vets.
We sure are. We love them guys. We love we also love somebody else too. There's only two classes of people that run to the sound of gunfire. Of course, and that's the military. And then number two, that's your local police officers. And those guys are in uniform too. So they're in blue. They're really on the front of the firing line. And I appreciate those guys. And the only reason why I mention that because I got two sons that are police officers.
Yeah, I know you do. And they're good kids. Well, folks, you've probably seen the title of this video. Why Bitcoin Cash will not replace Bitcoin.
Yes, I agree.
These views are strictly Rod's and myself.
Opinions.
We don't claim to know everything, but the research that we have done, which is probably minimal compared to some of you folks, but we're going to give you our reasons why we think Bitcoin is still the way to go. Because at these prices, and let's take a look at that real quick, Rod.
Yeah, let's look at that.
We've got the coin market cap pulled up here, folks. I hope you can see that on your screen. I don't know how this stuff shows up or not. At least the most important part of the two bottom corners. That's where you really want to focus on.
Yeah, just us, right, Ron?
Bitcoin's at 6,000.
Wow,
look at this.
Down a whole grand, man.
Bitcoin Cash, spot number 2.
It went up 1,000.
They kicked Ethereum out of that second spot.
Wow. I can't believe that.
Now, we've been talking a few minutes. Maybe I ought to refresh this. Let me see here.
Yeah, that's refreshing.
No, Ethereum's back up.
Oh, yeah.
Boy,
okay.
They're neck and neck, man. 29 billion and 28 billion. I mean, they're only 500 million apart.
Tell me about it.
And Bitcoin Cash is at 1,700. And all today, Rod, where this thing has been going parabolic almost, I've had 2 or 3 people call me and say, "Man, do I want to dump Bitcoin and get into Bitcoin Cash?" And if you want to make some quick bucks, maybe so. But in the long haul, folks, we're still behind Bitcoin and the blockchain that's running on. So I don't know. It kind of gets nerve-wracking when you got Bitcoin that's dropped $1,500 or more than that, $1,800 or so, and
yeah,
Bitcoin Cash jumping up 75% in the last 24 hours.
Oh wow!
Oh my heck! It makes you wonder if you're on the right chain, and
makes me want to go to bed right now and wake up in the morning and see what it's going to be.
No, you and I could do that. But the diehards are going to stay up all night and watch this. And the thing is when you get that kind of price going, and there's a lot of talk on the internet and on YouTube right now, Rod, that they're saying that Bitcoin Cash just might replace Bitcoin as being the dominant chain and take over that name. If there's enough users of Bitcoin swap over to Bitcoin Cash, which that's the criteria in my book to actually switch over and use that as the regular Bitcoin now, that's what they're saying is going to happen.
Well, yeah.
So anyway,
it's possible, but there's too many things to me in my mind that will block that. I mean, I don't know how. Bitcoin Cash is a fork off of Bitcoin, right?
That's correct.
They don't have a blockchain of their own, do they?
That's a great point, Rod. They're coming into this kind of piggybacking on somebody else's work.
Yeah.
Not that
and what about the miners? Don't they have something to say about this?
Well, some of the miners might have gone over to Bitcoin Cash. they Bitcoin Cash has some developers. I'm sorry, the miners, yes, but the developers, the core developers, are on the Bitcoin chain, and some of them might have swapped over, but Bitcoin Cash is kind of tied into this block stream, and they actually have paid salary to some developers to help them through some of the changes they've wanted to do. But your point is right on. Let me get back to that. Let's first talk just a second about the differences. Okay. You got Bitcoin, and they're running 1 megabyte blocks. Yeah. And we kind of covered this the other day. You can only get so many transactions in a block every 10 minutes. They get a new block.
Right. Yep.
So if there's more than that block will hold, those transactions need to wait till the next block arrives. And so that's why there's been some delay in time. And that's, part of the reason why some of the costs have gone up. The miners have been making pretty good money on this stuff.
Yeah.
On the other hand, though, Bitcoin Cash has an 8 megabyte block, which holds a lot more information. And they also have that replay instituted. They've written the code for the replay, so your coins are secure. Even though they're both running along both chains, your address is on both. So if you make a transfer of your Bitcoin Cash, it might also affect your Bitcoin. But they've solved that, and so there's no replay. They've kind of worked on the scalability issues and all that. So on the surface, it looks like a good platform. They're quicker because of the 8 megabyte blocks. They're cheaper. And that's some of the problems with Bitcoin. So people are saying, but now let's get back to your comment. They've piggybacked on blockchain. They've kind of, just forked off of that. So they didn't have to develop their own blockchain. They're just adding some of their code to it.
I'm raising my hand for a question.
Okay, what is it?
I was thinking just now when he was talking about that too. And what about like the Asian countries? Don't they use a lot of Bitcoin? And I've never heard of anybody buying anything with Bitcoin Cash yet.
Another good point. There's no ATMs that sell Bitcoin Cash. You go to Japan, it's all Bitcoin. Even their government agencies recognize Bitcoin as a authorized currency in that country. I should have pulled up, but there's what, a couple 100,000 stores now that offer Bitcoin. The awareness there is huge. Around the world, Bitcoin has the name. That's what people recognize with cryptocurrency. And Bitcoin Cash not only is not out there in the name, but they don't have the infrastructure, just like we talked about. Nobody's taken Bitcoin Cash at a retail store. Nobody's taken it at an ATM. The infrastructure there to use it just isn't in place. And that's one of the main reasons that personally I think Bitcoin Cash is not going to overtake Bitcoin, at least not in the short term.
In the short term. It could be later, but not right now.
Right, yeah. And there's so much about Bitcoin. Do you know that show, it's about those 4 computer geeks. What is it? I had it written down here. Big Bang Theory. Have you ever watched that show, Rod?
Nope.
Big Bang Theory, it's a comedy. I watched it maybe 3 years ago, some episodes, but they're having, in November, the end of this month, they're having a whole episode on Bitcoin.
Oh, wow.
And they have like 14 million viewers watch that show every week. Well, wow. That's, again, exposure to Bitcoin, not Bitcoin Cash. And again, if you can't spend that, what do you do with it? I mean, if you can, and I know it's a safe haven, at least Bitcoin is, for your wealth and all that. But other than that,
not only that, I've been seeing on when I go to YouTube, they have this IRA thing coming up there, and they're all using Bitcoin. I don't see anything about Bitcoin Cash.
Well, and they say that you're right. there's so much. Bitcoin is the granddaddy, like we've been saying. It's got the name recognition. It's what everybody associates cryptocurrency with. Bitcoin Cash at this point is nothing but an altcoin. It's just an alternative. It's just, I know there's people really pushing it.
And that's fine.
Yeah, but let's look at Bitcoin now for a second. I got a news article pulled up here. And here's some other reasons why we think that Bitcoin is still going to be okay. Now, this is November. This is today, this article. And it's out of Bitcoin.com up here. Bitcoin-based Ethereum rival. It's an Ethereum rival. Risk, RSK, set to launch next month.
Oh.
Now, if you read this article, and we're not going to go through it and spend the time on that, but down here on this Lumino launch to follow. So after Risk is involved, it's a Lightning-style network is the second thing they're going to launch. So they're working on the scalability of Bitcoin. They're going to put this Risk in place and then this Lumino network, and it's really going to speed up, according to the article, and lower the costs of Bitcoin.
Oh, so there you go.
And not only that, you look at Bitcoin Cash's platform. Yeah, they're quicker right now and they have less fees, but hey, I think Litecoin and Dash probably both have better platforms than Bitcoin Cash. Not that I'm the expert on that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Sounds like it.
No, yeah, it might sound like it, but you know, I just read some of these things. So this is real positive here, and it said here too that this Lightning network, this Lumino. Oh yeah, right here in this area. It says that in a previous interview with the scales Bitcoin 8.3 times, while SegWit only 1.8. So Bitcoin has SegWit right now, and it's sped it up 1.8 times, I guess. But this program, this platform they're talking about, is going to be 8.3 times faster.
Wow.
So that's good stuff to me.
Can serve 1 billion users.
Yeah.
Wow.
The speed and the capacity of that, huh?
Boy, that'd be awesome.
And then along with that, of course, we know that when they restructured the code of the platform and with Bitcoin, they made it possibly to accept this Lightning network.
Yeah.
Now, this Lightning network, and they haven't instituted it on there yet, but they have the potential of doing that. And it also has this cross-chain atomic swaps that we did a video on, which means that you can send different currencies across blockchains and come out another currency. These atomic swaps are going to be the biggest thing. And it'll actually, I think, cut some of the exchange fees out, which will make it relatively a lot cheaper.
That would be nice.
So, and there's other things going on, but folks, I wouldn't give up the ship yet. I mean, if you think that Bitcoin Cash is going to take over, let's go back to that market cap, Rod. It reminds me too. Let's look at this chart on them. Now, anytime we've seen this type of parabolic growth, I mean, look at that. We always know. Oh, you're not even on screen. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that, folks. I had some technical difficulties on the sound, Rod said. Hope we got it fixed. But we were coming back over to the graph on Bitcoin Cash, and what Rod and I were discussing for a minute there was, whoops, sorry about that. I still sound all right, Rod?
Yep, sound good.
Okay, was this parabolic shoot up here that Bitcoin Cash has had in the last 24, 48 hours. And history have shown us that anytime something shoots up like that, and you can go back to most of these coins, these alts.
You can go back to stock, you can go to the stock market too.
What goes up must come down. Spinning wheel, got to go round. You remember that song? By Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Blood and Tears. That's right, baby.
So even though this looks real promising and it looks like everybody's swapping over to it, no. You got to remember, too, we just had the cancellation of Bitcoin. Help me out, Rod. Was it Bitcoin Classic or?
No, it's the oh shoot, we just did it yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Our minds are terrible, folks. But one of the Bitcoin coins just said, "Hey, we're out, and in the next few months we're going to be done, and we're going to piggyback or we're going to support Bitcoin Cash." So I'm sure most of the people that had their tokens in Bitcoin Classic or something.
Yeah, it was, I think.
Let me pull Bitcoin here and see what pulls up. I just feel bad that I can't remember this stuff. I don't know. It's not on here. Anyway, folks, they just admitted they're getting out and they're going behind Bitcoin Cash. Well, all the people that have tokens or coins within that are swapping them into Bitcoin Cash, which elevates the price. And then you've got some of these other people. You have this Roger Ver, who's a big dog in the crypto world, got a lot of money. He's also behind, he's supporting Bitcoin Cash. So there's a lot of money rolling into this, and that's obviously why this price is elevating like it is. But Rod and I, we're sticking. It
seems to me like it's kind of a false thing if he's throwing money into it. Why? I don't know, and I don't want to go into any. No,
it's a good question. No, we're not going to.
It just makes me why. I just curious, you know.
Yeah, because like we just said, they have nothing behind it. It's just a false. No. It's just an altcoin. There's nothing. Now, some of these altcoins have platforms and code that they've written that makes sense, and that have a platform that can be used. But what can Bitcoin Cash be used for at this point, other than being a little quicker, a little cheaper than Bitcoin? I don't know. I mean, to make a swap of everybody over, that's going to take some time.
I mean, nobody's using it.
Yeah. You know, they're using it on the exchanges and to swapping right now, but it ain't used anywhere else that I know of.
No, you're right. Yeah, that's right.
Correct us if we're wrong, folks. Anyway, that's kind of our theory.
Yep. And that's the way it is.
It's the way it is. Listen, on a topic like this, we'd appreciate the comments. You know, if we're out in left field on some of this, help guide us around. We'd like to see it.
Yeah, we'd like to hear about it. Yeah, sure would. And remember, God loves you, and we do too. Thumbs up.
Thanks for watching.